back, episode 8. I'm your host, Tyler Smith, and
Pat McSweeney.
Dr. Pat. Episode 8 is going to be all things supplements. I know this is something I think a lot of people are going to want to hear. It seems like everybody gravitates to supplements before they want to sleep well, eat well.
Yeah.
Do all the things you should be doing.
Chasing
They just want to jump to supplements.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I think we have a couple training updates that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into your week, or do you want me
Sure.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is race week for me. Age group nationals are on Sunday in Milwaukee. This upcoming weekend. I guess it'll be today, as of when this is released. Feeling good. Excited for the race. Excited to see what I can do after I did a sprint earlier this year. About, I think it was like 6 weeks ago. I feel like I'm fitter than I was then in all three disciplines. So excited to just see what I can do from that standpoint.
Remind us again overall time that you were wanting to. And
Yeah.
What's the confidence level?
I think my hope is like an hour and 8 minutes is kind of like my goal when I break things down.
And last year you ran, or did it a
Sprints, tries in general, especially when they're local events, the distances are always around.
That's right. And they changed
Yeah.
the course this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So this will be the first time I'm doing this race specifically.
Okay.
But this is more of like, I think the true distances, like bikes in the past have been closer to 14 miles. A true sprint distance is 12.4.
Yeah.
With a 5K run, and then start with a 750 meter swim. So hoping for like around an hour and 8 minutes is the game plan. That should put me hopefully around like top 10 in my age group, but we'll see where things shake out and
Let's go.
who shows up and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good. The weather's looking so at this point, but it's still a little ways out. So
And this is Sunday.
Yep.
So quickly, what's the week look like then? Taper week for you?
Yeah, so still trying to keep my frequency the same as far as like hitting all three disciplines. So I swam open water yesterday. Will bike today, and it's early enough in the week. I'll probably hit a pretty hard workout today on the bike. Try to get outside. Try to get into my like aero position, all that stuff. Just get comfortable there. Test things out for probably the last time. Tomorrow will be a swim and probably a short run. Easy. Swim will be not easy. It'll be more so like hard efforts. Just kind of open things up a little bit, get some last minute touches. And then Thursday we'll do a workout at Dadletics, but we'll modify. So the workout this week is 30 minutes at threshold. I'm gonna do probably like a 2K around at that threshold pace, maybe a little bit slower, just to kind of open things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then my plan is 4x400, 4x200, with some like shorter rest in between, so I'm not tempted to run faster. So I keep those truer to what they should be, which is just kind of getting my legs moving, get some of those last minute mechanics. Like physiologically, you're not going to make any changes in the last week as far as like gaining fitness.
What do they always say? The hay's in the barn.
Yeah, but what can happen is you can be more neuromuscularly primed. So I found those like 400s, 200s, just kind of really trying to keep mechanics dialed in, running a little bit faster probably than what I will for the race. For those shorter efforts have helped me to get to the race day feeling good. Like
Sure.
Legs don't feel sleepy. The legs don't feel like they take a while to get going, because in a just over an hour race, you can't really afford that.
Yeah.
So
Saturday, will you do like a shakeout of any sort?
yeah, usually what I typically like to do, and every venue's a little different. There is like a swim familiarization is what they call it. So I'll try to get in the water that day at least, and probably get like a short run, like a couple miles, nothing crazy. We're traveling Friday, so Friday morning might try to get a bike ride in, kind of last minute touches on like make sure everything gearing wise and stuff like that on the bike is firing away. And then Saturday, like I said, just move a little bit.
And nutrition wise, our race, probably not much of a carb load.
No, I mean, I'll eat pretty normally and just kind of gear a little bit more towards carbs, but nothing set in stone as far as trying to get, anything specific.
I think we want to highlight that for those listeners out there of keeping things normal when it comes to food.
Mm-hmm.
We'll highlight that again when I start prepping for the full, but you don't want to change anything up.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sitting in the porta potty after mile 1 or whatever that might be. It's try to keep everything normal.
Yep.
But it's funny, I hear stories all the time of people adding something last minute.
The temptation's there.
Yeah.
Like when you're training a little less, like in a taper week, it is so normal for your mind to just start running wild because you're like, well, I'm not training. What else can I do to try to make myself eke out that last little bit? And most of the time, you're only going to do more harm than good. And I've tapered for a lot of races over the years, so I've found what works pretty well for me at this point is maintaining that intensity in a lot of ways, especially earlier on in the week. So, like today, tomorrow, I have no fears or like reservations about pushing pretty hard, especially on the bike and the swim, which are a little less like physiologically, like muscularly taxing. So I've bounced back pretty well from those. And I've done it the other way where I'm like the last whole week is like all easy stuff, and I go into the race feeling horrible because your body's just not used to that. So what I found works for me and kind of what the research would support is maintain the intensity, like your volume's going to come down, the volume of intensity is going to come down, but maintaining some of those touches on race pace or even slightly a little bit faster keeps you that neuromuscular stimulus there, which again is probably the most pliable thing that week of the race that can be in a good spot or not so good spot depending on how you execute that last week of taper.
Cool.
So
we're excited.
Yeah, it'll be good. We have lots to talk about next week. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous but excited. I feel like that's always kind of where I'm at this point before a race. In triathlon, you just have so much crap to like get together, like so much stuff to remember, to bring 3 disciplines.
Just not the bid.
Yeah, I mean that's why I always love running races. 'Cause I'm like, all right, I got my bib, I got my shoes, I'm pretty good. Fuel.
Yeah.
But you asked about fueling. On the bike I will have a bottle, so I use Scratch, which is just a carb and electrolyte mix that I'll take in throughout it'll be probably about a little over 30 minutes for the bike, and probably will try to get through most of like a 20-ounce bottle of that. So again, probably not for performance necessarily. Like I could probably do it the same otherwise. I like having something to consume, and and I'm a pretty salty sweater. So if it does, it's supposed to be pretty warm that day. So again, depending on who you are, what the research says, we'll get into this more. It's a perfect segue as far as supplements go, but I feel like if I'm taking something in consistently throughout a race, like I have felt the best at the end of the race.
Yeah, and I think especially being on the bike, the bottle's there.
It's easy to access.
Why not? It's not going to slow you down.
Yep.
So let's just pull that lever and make sure that there are no cramps or just nothing because of nutrition.
Yep.
Or
trying to hit that run is in as good a spot to run as fast as I can.
Because I'm assuming they probably have cups of water handed
Yeah,
out.
they have stuff. Yeah. Honestly, I would use it probably more for cooling, and then I mean there's research that shows like even just swishing around like a carbohydrate solution, there's a bump in or a decrease in your RPE and a bump in performance, even if those carbs haven't theoretically hit your system.
That's your brain.
Yeah. So keeping that stuff as sharp as I can, I think, is my goal from like a fueling standpoint.
The brain, again, I can't remember if we touched on this on a different episode of how that central governor idea in your brain and how it wants to shut you down before your body actually wants to shut down. And you can trick it with that carbohydrate. It's thinking, oh, we're gonna be consuming, let's not slow down because we're being fed. Type of a deal. Again, it's doesn't matter for an hour, that's where maybe it's questionable, but why not?
Yeah. And I mean, this will be an hour of basically redlining. Like, it'll be from the gun, it's going to be go. And the change in disciplines is nice because I feel like in a running race that has been more than an hour that I've done. You know, you get to that point where it's like, oh, I just don't want to be running anymore. So I always look forward to that change in disciplines, and it breaks things up, I think, mentally really well.
And I guess on a swim you don't need a bottle either, right?
Nope. I mean, you
just drink the water.
Yeah. Just open your mouth. No. The swim will be like 12-ish minutes. So, have the bottle on the bike. Hit it once I get on there, but yeah, I'm gonna swim fast, bike fast, run fast. That's the goal.
So we'll all be following.
Yeah. There is a tracking. We can plug that in at some point.
Throw it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Throw it in the group.
But yeah, how's training been for you this week?
Good. So we have a little bit to catch up on in my chase for sub 3. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more confident in saying that.
I think you can say it.
So last Saturday I was finally able to do a long run with marathon pace, which I was excited about because everything had been pretty much easy or a steady pace, which is maybe 10 to 15 seconds per mile slower. So I was excited about this one. 17 miles with 2 sets of 3 miles at marathon pace. So I wanted, again, this was a big rehearsal as well. And so I had my bottles, I had all my gels, trying to mimic what I'd be doing in a race, knowing that it was still going to be about 2 hours and 15-ish, 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I was one less bottle than I would, and a couple gels short, obviously. But I was still about 85 grams an hour on the carbs and handled it really well.
How'd you do that logistically?
Yeah, so I have a endorphin belt, which I highly recommend. I've never had any other belt, so
shout out.
But the endorphin belt, I was able to carry. You can carry 2 gels and like gel holders. Essentially, you have a front pocket. I think I threw one in. My tights have side pockets that I could throw gels in. Bottle wise, this is where it's starting to get a little tricky for me. For the race, I'm gonna do 3 bottles that will have electrolytes and carbs, extra carbs in them to get that 85 grams in to 90. In the belt, I can carry one in the back, and then I've just been holding one. And these are the ones that decompress, essentially, as you drink it.
Like the flask.
Yeah, so it's annoying the first 2 miles holding this thing.
Yeah.
But then once I get through that, I was able to throw that in like the side pocket and then roll out the other bottle.
So what are you going to do with that third one?
So in the race, my wife should be handing off, but I'm actually, so I ended up losing 5 pounds on the run on Saturday, which I'm about 200 pounds, so a little bit more than I wanted to. And so typically on those runs, I lose about 2 to 3. So it was warm. It was actually 70 degrees up on Saturday morning. So it was warm, not ideal. Again, we're hoping in October we're in the high 40s. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
And so that was one reason I lost quite a bit. But this Friday, I'm going to be doing 18 easy, and I'm going to experiment. I'm going to carry 2. And then one in my back. This time I'm just going to have water in one. But I don't want to lose body weight on these, or as much as, again, 2 to 3 pounds is kind of ideal. When you start pushing past 5 pounds, you're going to start.
Like a percentage of your body weight is kind of the prevailing wisdom from what I know.
Yeah. So it's just annoying holding them.
Yeah.
But again, because the soft flask decompress, you just get through one, throw it in.
So are you hoping to not rely on anything from the course? Is that your game plan? And
yeah,
then if you
nothing.
need to,
Nothing. I think I'd rather run with the holding bottles than have to run to the side, worry about grabbing a cup, spilling said cup. How much are you actually
And you
getting?
don't know what's in there necessarily.
You don't know exactly how much in there.
Yeah.
So I want to be as precise as possible on carbs and electrolytes for the race. And so it's like, well, if it doesn't bother me, then let's just control the controllables.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me. So it was great, but I wanted to rehearse that because, again, I've been drinking, taking gels at easy pace. But I lined this 17 miles up with the 2x3 miles at marathon pace with having to take drinks, with having to take gels to make sure what that feels like. And so I came out and did 7 easy and then hit the first 3 miles at 6:47 pace, which for those who don't know, 6:50 to 6:51-ish is going to be about sub 3. That's if you're running a perfect line. Typically,
Which never happens.
Right. Yeah. So typically you're going to probably run a little bit farther than a true marathon distance. So typically you probably want to be around the 6:48. So I went 6:47. The first 3 miles I was on a slight decline just to make sure I felt good. And then the back 3 it was actually uphill.
Okay.
So it evened out.
And what was the second?
6:47.
Okay.
So I matched it. My heart rate drift was like 3 beats, which was exactly what I wanted. It was maybe just a hair faster than I felt comfortable with.
Okay.
When it comes from an RPE standpoint. I wouldn't say it's undoable or like unrealistic, but it's maybe just a hair uncomfortable. A little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But heart rate was pretty much where I needed it to be. And then I finished 3 miles after that. It was supposed to be easy, cool down, and I'm just like staring. It's like I think I ran like 7:20 pace, which was almost steady. But it felt like I was walking at that point. Huge confidence boost. I was pleasantly surprised. I think the biggest thing that, and I texted you, was I felt pretty good the next morning. And then Monday went and did 10 easy and felt really good. And then the true test was this morning. Because I have a wedding on Saturday, I'm bumping everything up. Long run again on Friday. The Dadletics threshold, I moved to, we're recording early on a Tuesday. I'm like, okay, I have 48 hours from that long run to hit a hard 30-minute at threshold. And then I added an optional 2x1K just to get some turnover.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. Again, didn't know how the legs were going to respond.
Yeah. Just like behind the scenes, I don't think I've ever heard you say like you're nervous for a workout. I mean, we've talked about it before. You're like, okay, this feels like fast, but for you to say that, I was like, okay. I mean, you're feeling it from the long run, and this is, 30 minutes, pretty hard.
I was nervous because of the paces I was telling myself I can't hit.
Yeah.
Because again, with our threshold progression, I've been at a 6:21 for the 3x10, a 6:19 pace for 2x15, but now you're doubling that.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I hold a 6:20 when we were talking a year ago? I was chasing a 6:25 for a 5K.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to do 30 minutes, which is almost 5K, 5 miles at 6:20. So I think the numbers just scared me a little bit. Like, man, or imposter syndrome. Like, am I really?
Yep.
Am I at this point where I can actually do this?
Yeah.
And it was going to be early morning. I had 4 a.m. wake up. So I was a little nervous about that. I know my legs take a second to get going, but warmed up, hit some strides, and I went for it and crushed the 30 minutes, held the 6:20. RPE felt easy.
Yeah.
I think I could have won another 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes at that pace, which is almost pushed to a 10K because I was obviously a 6:26 is a sub 40 10K, and I wanted redemption at my summer 10K that I did not get that at. But I think I'm going to progress going forward. In 2 weeks, I'm going to do a 35-minute threshold, and then I'm going to top out a 40-minute, and I'm going to go for that. Yeah. And love it. Get a 10K. Yeah. But it's pretty cool. I think I hit a 5K at like 19:30 or something in that workout today. Yeah. So. It felt great.
It's a Strava PR.
Yeah, and then again, crossed my mind. Let's not do you just ran hard. Let's not do the 2 1Ks. And it was one of those. No, let's just do one. See if I feel like dog crap, then maybe shut it down. Yeah. But let's just see what that first one feels like. And dude, it was over before I even knew it. I looked down, and I was at 550 mile pace. So hit exactly what I needed to.
That's kind of the nice thing about, I feel like I ran into it last week with the 2K, 1K alternating. But when you do like a longer set, like 30 minutes, running pretty hard, and then you go to run even 1,000, which like, I feel like earlier this year, like in the spring when we were gearing up for the 5K or the 10K, thousands felt like, oh my gosh, this is long, and then you knock it out after 30 minutes, like, oh, it's done, like before you even know it.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah. So I would say training's going well, and again, the biggest thing is like those are great, but it's can I continue to absorb the work, and the body is.
Well, I think it's important to note too. I mean, you're hitting not only these workouts, like those are the things we're highlighting. You're hitting your biggest like weekly volumes that you've ever hit consistently as well.
Something that we debated even when I started, whether it was going to be too much.
Right.
And I hit 62 miles last week, 63 this week, and then I'll hit 65 before I back off again.
Yeah.
And mentally, physically, I feel great.
It's good.
Legs feel amazing.
Yeah. So when you're prepping for one of those morning runs, it's a professional segue right here.
Yep.
When you're prepping for one of those morning runs, walk me through what are you doing night before, morning of, from like what are you trying to get in? Are you trying to focus on carbs? Are you trying to focus on getting anything else supplementary?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that because there was a couple supplements that were used. Let's start morning of, and then we'll end at the night of my full day of pretty much supplement and my current supplement stack. Probably won't be a surprise to the audience that I utilize a lot of supplements, and you probably utilize none.
Not none, but very little.
Very little.
Yeah.
So, couple things that I did for these harder workouts. I did it for the long run. I'll do it for race day, and then kind of these threshold is beetroot juice, which has nitrates, which essentially the nitrates, I believe, add like blood volume and make RPE a little bit feel easier. It's, again, this is me scratching at like a 1%. This is not an S tier supplement.
Yeah.
This is, research is kind of back and forth. I think for a normal recreational runner, maybe doesn't have the gains. Not saying I'm a professional runner, but I also kind of why not type of a deal.
I think you are doing all of the things that are important very well.
Well, let's preface supplements before we talk about
I think that's a good
who supplements are for.
Right. I mean, I think you are somebody, and we've talked about it in previous episodes when we talk about recovery or training, like what are the biggest, highest bang for your bucks. You are doing all of those things really well. You're training consistently, you're sleeping well, you're running higher volume than you ever have, like your volume's increasing, you're hitting high intensity workouts throughout the week. Your nutrition is very dialed in from like a tracking standpoint. When we're talking about what is valuable from a supplementation standpoint, I think it's important to note that like if you're not doing any of those, if you're not hitting all of those like benchmarks, most of this stuff is probably not going to be as beneficial or very beneficial at all.
Correct. Yes. So most supplements that I'm going to talk about is not for a normal person if you're not doing the right things to begin with. The basic pillars have to be right, and then you can start thinking about the supplements. It is interesting though, but everybody just thinks that, well, if I take this supplement, I'm going to get faster, or if I take this peptide, I'm going to be so much stronger. And it's like, but you're not sleeping, right? You're sleeping 4 hours. Your diet's crap. You're not consistently showing up to the weight room to get said strength. Like you're not doing those things. So it's like one supplement's not going to do a thing. Yeah. But if you're all dialed in, it's like, well, what other triggers or levers can I pull to maximize my gains? And that's kind of where I'm at. So when I talk about this stuff, like that's why it is for me. But the beetroot juice is, I'm grasping at maybe that
decimals of a percent.
Yes, it is not much. The one thing about beetroot juice, though, that's been tricky for me is you should be taking it 1 to 3 hours pre-workout to see the
First thing in the morning
benefits.
stuff.
So last night I'm like, man, how am I going to do this if I'm running at 5 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had it cracked right beside my bedside, and
Of course.
I was like, well, if I wake up, I'll rip it and go back to sleep maybe for a couple hours.
There you go.
Body knew exactly
Sure
what
enough.
I wanted. 2:30 a.m. Rolled over, ripped a shot of beetroot juice, went back to sleep.
Unsurprising.
So got that in.
Nice. Okay.
Uh,
What about throughout the morning?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
breakfast wise.
so then get the breakfast. Obviously, I mean, again, carbs are king in the morning. Trying to get like, I don't know, 80 to 90 grams through a bar. And then I'm taking Gatorade Endurance has kind of been my preference. Has about 300 milligrams of electrolytes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Quick carbs also helps with the fluid. I also pair that with creatine, which we're going to highlight that here in a little bit more. And that's the morning stack. So
Caffeine.
creatine, electrolytes, definitely caffeine.
Yeah. How much? Like how many cups of coffee? Or
Yeah, so it's interesting. So caffeine is definitely, it's a supplement.
Mm-hmm.
S tier supplement for most.
Cheers.
But again, if we abuse it, does it become effective for training?
Mm-hmm.
So with actually ripping espressos now, I've been able to control my milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, if we were making a pot of coffee, 3-4 cups, was it 8 ounces, is it 16 ounces? I'm not really tracking. So there for a while, I'm like, I have no idea how much I'm getting in. And so with this, I can actually track it. Because again, if I'm getting 2 shots of espresso first thing in the morning, I know it's about 150 milligrams. And if I have one later in the day, now I'm at 300 milligrams for the day. So I've actually been trying to just to keep it one on days that aren't big training days. And then hopefully bring my tolerance down. So then when I do need it, it's effective.
So you're talking about even like periodizing your caffeine.
Dialed.
Getting deep.
Dialed. But for those that don't know, I mean, there are gels that have caffeine in it. So during my long run, right before I hit my first 3 miles, like I took a Morton gel that had 100 milligrams of caffeine, and it definitely helps mental
Yeah.
and performance.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, caffeine it's more than just a normal part of life. It's definitely performance enhancing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the most studied supplements, I would say, as far as being beneficial for athletic performance from a mental acuity standpoint, from an RPE standpoint. You're able to push yourself probably to a point that you wouldn't normally otherwise.
Right, but I think it's abused.
Oh, for sure.
Because think about that. I wonder what the average person is, but I bet the average person is over 500 milligrams. And recommendations about 300 to 400.
Yeah. That's a good chunk.
So with the monster, I mean, some of those monsters have a ton.
Yeah.
And again, if you want to figure out, well, I'm not sleeping, it's like, well, how much caffeine are you consuming?
Yeah.
Because again, someone is, dialed as I am, I never really tracked that. Now I am.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to use it to help.
Yeah. I think that's good. I mean, I think that is definitely if you are talking about like tiers of supplements that we're going to talk about today, I think caffeine's got to be way up there as far as well researched. You respond well to it.
100%.
It's something that you know how your body is going to handle it. Something consistently that you can add to your training to make it more productive, less challenging, I guess.
Yeah. And that's big in the strength, like weight room too.
Yeah.
Obviously. And again, anytime you can go in not fatigued or, if your mind's prepped and ready to go, obviously you can attack a workout.
Yeah.
It's going to be beneficial.
Totally.
But again, timing's everything. And unfortunately, if you're not working out in the morning, that's going to get tricky.
Yeah. What about creatine? Why are you doing that?
All right. I'm talking about the most researched supplement. I mean, if it's not caffeine, it's definitely creatine. Creatine is probably the most researched supplement in the industry. it is something I've taken for a very long time, and I've seen the industry and the industry standards and where they've come from with it. But we've pretty much dialed in that creatine monohydrate is the drug of choice when it comes to supplementation of creatine. It is essentially, it just brings water into your muscles, and a full muscle allows you to do more work. I feel like that's the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah.
And whether it's an extra rep, you know, a little bit faster. Again, it's not going to make you a world record holder.
Yeah.
We're talking minimal gains, but substantial. Again, if you're thinking CrossFit, if you can do, you know, take 2 seconds, 5 seconds off, you know, Sydney or, you know, Fran or whatever that might be because of creatine, like, that's well worth it, right?
Yeah.
And it's good for recovery because, again, now you're flushing your muscles that are breaking down with water, with nutrients that you need. It's a game changer. The coolest research that is now coming out, though, with creatine is it is crossing your blood-brain barrier, and the cognitive effects on it is wild.
Yeah.
So people are seeing, they're actually dosing up to 20 grams on a day that maybe you didn't sleep well, and they're more alert.
Yeah.
I think the one study that came out was like 20 Alzheimer's patients that they did that with, and like, I think their symptoms like stopped progressing. A lot more research to come, but that's why, I mean, I post, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm posting constantly about creatine. Again, it's for everybody. They recommend 3 grams up to 5 grams. I take 10 grams. Again, I think most research is done on smaller people, and
Yeah.
I'm not smaller people. So I take 10 grams a day. I'm going to do a little shout out to Momentous. I'm actually an ambassador for them. So CreaPure creatine monohydrate was like the gold standard. Easy on your digestive system. Everybody did it. Well, they just came out with a signature spec, which is their own creatine. They run it through a pharmaceutical facility now. So they're now testing for like PFAs, plastics. It's ultra fine. I was telling you, it's like dust.
Yeah.
So I used it for the first time today, their new flavor one, and it just absorbed into the liquid like right away. So for those people out there that like to throw in their coffee and have to figure out how to mix it, or if it's sitting at the bottom, like this will truly absorb quickly. The other nice thing is they just came out with a watermelon flavor, which is actually really nice.
Yeah.
Unflavored's great, but you have to figure out how am I going to mix it, because if you ever drink it unflavored by itself, it's not great.
Nope.
But I threw this in with my Gatorade, and it is a true watermelon taste. Told my wife she's pumped because now she can take that to work and mix it wherever she wants. So highly recommend Momentous. And just a side note about supplements in general. Supplements are not, the FDA has no regulations on them. It is still the wild, wild west when it comes to that. There's a lot of dupes on Amazon.
Interesting.
There's a lot of research, even off the shelf stuff. If you actually test it, they come back, it says 5 grams, it's maybe a gram. Momentous, I think, is just kind of taking it. Again, if it's something I'm gonna put in my body every day, I'm gonna trust a brand that's doing all the right things, and it's third party tested, which is again another stamp of approval. There's definitely some companies that do that to make it like NSF certified for sports for like high schoolers, so nobody gets popped with anything illegal. But if it's not third party tested, like maybe it's cheaper, but you have no idea if it's the real thing or not.
Right.
So it's like, well, if you're gonna, maybe it's $10 cheaper, but you're also paying $20 for sugar,
right,
or whatever, whatever it might be. So I'm a huge Momentous fan. That's why I've backed it. And again, I didn't take it lightly when I did become a brand ambassador, I guess, for a company. It's like if I'm gonna say, what you should buy, like, that's yeah. So shout out Momentous. If you want a discount, use Tyler Smith at checkout.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty much creatine.
Okay.
What are you using for creatine? I assume you're using creatine. Do you use creatine?
Yeah, I go back and forth. I get it from Costco, classically. And I go through periods of time where I take it and don't take it. For no real good reason other than the fact that I feel like there's times when I'm not like doing everything that we talked about before to the best of my ability or to the best of it, and I'm not like this is just to no surprise of anybody, but especially you. I'm not a like gadgets person. Like, this is an aside, but it's applicable. Like in the triathlon world, I mean, everybody's gung ho on like the newest technology, aerodynamics, all these like 1-2% that people are just trying to find that edge. That to me is like not exciting. I don't like getting into the weeds about that stuff. I like the purity of like running or swimming. Cycling gets a little bit murkier because there's a lot that can be changed about your bike to make you go faster, and you yourself have not gotten any faster, so you can buy a lot of free speed. And so I think supplements in my mind are, I kind of go down the same road. Like, is it of utility to me from that standpoint? And I'm not looking for a lot of times those like last fractions of a percent, just because I'm like, I think I can train harder, eat a little better, sleep a little better. So that's kind of where
I'm with you.
fall on it.
I will say the research with the cognitive stuff has been really interesting for me. So if I ever had a seed of doubt of using creatine, I feel like this has pretty much removed that. Alzheimer's is in my family. It's prevalent. I mean, it's a growing trend. And if this can help slow that process down or possibly prevent it, by all means.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's one of the worst ways, in my opinion, to go. Is
Wouldn't
losing
wish
your
that on
mind.
anybody.
So,
yeah.
so that's, again, I highly recommend it. So that's kind of the morning pre-run stack.
Yeah. What else are you?
And then when I get home, after I eat breakfast, I am taking Momentus's multivitamin, which, again, debate back and forth on vitamins of, do you actually need it? Don't you need it? I do get quite a bit in my diet. For me, this is kind of an inexpensive way to just to make sure. So if my body needs it, it's going to take it. If not, I'm just going to probably pee it out. But also, what I enjoy about Momentus is vitamin D. It has 2,000 IUs in it, which I think living in Ohio and not getting the sunlight, especially in the winter, vitamin D is critical. And I will preface this. Again, I'm going to go back to Whoop. So I get my labs drawn twice a year.
Okay.
And it is drawing my vitamin D. It is testosterone, magnesium, iron, anything and everything, which is pretty cool. They just added this about a year ago. And again, if you're interested in Whoop, go to my Instagram page and I can give you a free month, and I get a free month. So click in the link.
Plugs on plugs.
So, but what's cool is that once I get those labs, it goes to my app, Whoop app, and then it can make recommendations. Or sometimes it's like, I wouldn't worry about it because the recommendations, 150 minutes is zone 2 and you're doing 500 minutes.
Right.
So it's kind of cool that it can pull in all of my data. So for me, I was taking actually 5,000 IU of vitamin D. And when I got my labs back, it was too high. So I went to the multi because it just has 2,000. And my latest labs, 3 weeks ago, I was exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
So highly recommend lab work. Your PCP can do it. It's going to be out of pocket anyways, unless you have an issue. My PCP is pretty cool because he was like, well, I don't need to check this.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, no, I just want the data. He's like, I get that. So PCPs can, but this is just easier. You can do it online, and there's a lab just down the street from me. I'm trying to dial in my stack constantly based off of my labs.
Do you ever worry about the worrying that you do about this? As far as
it's not worry. It's optimization. To me,
yeah.
Actually, if I didn't know, that's where the worry is.
Okay.
But because I have what I feel like a hand on it, I don't worry. I feel like I'm optimizing and fully taking control of things that I can control.
What if things don't go that way though? Like if you, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. like if you were, your labs came back and you felt like something was way out of range or something like that. Like I know that means like, okay, I can do something about it, and like that sense of controlling is good.
When that has happened. So if you want to talk a little bit about the lab, so 2 labs ago, my iron was high, which was interesting because most runners, specifically females, iron's low. And so a lot of iron supplementation, unless you're eating a lot of red meat. And so I removed iron from, there's no iron in the multi, so I removed iron supplementation, backed off red meat, so we just eat a lot of chicken. And so my iron did come down. So for me, I'm like, perfect. I was able to control that because I knew what the lab was. So for me, it's just like data. Like why not have the data? Because if something did, maybe there was a red flag, and now I can control that. I can make a change versus, again, maybe it's the red flag leads to, I don't know, something that's going to kill me 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
But if I can address I can address it now at $100 versus losing my life. Would you pay $100 now?
Yeah.
And address the issue now, or allow the the hole to get bigger, and then again 10 years, doctors, I'm like, I feel off, and the doctor's like, well, yeah, you have X disease.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
See, I have I don't know, maybe my outlook is jaded on things. There's interesting imaging research. So this is like just like a microcosm for how I think of a lot of things, but like I think we don't know a lot of what some of these things mean. Like I don't think we have a great handle on that. Like we're ever learning, and that's the process of science and stuff like that. I think sometimes though there are staunch claims made that aren't readily backed in data and research and being stringently. So I mean so there's interesting. What I was saying was there's interesting imaging research. So we used to think X-ray, MRI, stuff like that was like a sentence. So you have a rotator cuff tear, you have a labrum tear in your shoulder, was like the cause or the reason for pain in your shoulder. What we know now is there is data and research that shows people there's somebody that went and got 10 MRIs and they got a readout of 10 different diagnoses. So I guess in my mind, if I'm getting that data and I'm getting those things, I'm making decisions based off of what that is telling me, who's to know if that's going to be the right thing? I guess, do you see what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And so I guess in that's why I focus so much on the big things as far as what moves the needle the most, because that's the stuff that's been around the longest, that sort of thing. Sleep and all those things.
Yep.
Which is why I don't dive too much into this realm of things, but I think it's good to have both perspectives, because I'm asking myself as you're talking through this, I'm like, man, I feel like there's things that I could be doing better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Again, for me, it's just, I just want the control. I want to see the data, and now that I can have the data at my fingertips whenever I want through Whoop, I'm all about it.
No, I get it. And I think having if it's not something that you are worrying about, losing sleep over, obsessing about, I know you are interested in it and it's something that you are tracking closely. The reason I bring this up is because I think there's more than one way to skin a cat, basically.
Yes. And I think, again, I have no issues with it, and this just goes back to wearable in general, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people just can't handle it.
Yeah.
They can't handle that data. So I feel like, I handle it well.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just optimizing.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Knowing the data.
Yeah.
So.
And is that kind of how you look at supplementation too? Is when you are doing all the other things, the control over some of these little things that could make a performance difference or make you feel like you recover faster or perform a little bit better. Is that kind of how you look at those things too?
I think it kind of just gives me, even if it's placebo, I think there's still just a little mind trick there of all right, I'm taking the things I need to take. There's no stone left unturned.
Yeah.
Is kind of how I look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And I think, again, like, I think the reason why you can dive this deep into it and come at it from a place of, like, no stone left unturned is because you're turning over the stones that matter the most.
Right.
Versus not doing that and then looking for these 1%ers when there's a 50%er out there that you're not, don't have under control.
Yep.
So
yes, this is fully optimization.
Yeah.
What
else? What are the other, like?
Oh yeah, we still got
1%.
We have still more. So
multiple percenters.
with the multivitamin, I also take a gram of omega-3s.
Okay.
Do I need it? That's questionable. But most Western diets, again, not for me, but most Western diets are high in omega-6s, not omega-3s. Unless you're eating fatty fish once or twice a week, you're probably not getting that. And then if you're eating a ton of seed oils, you're definitely getting omega-6s. And that imbalance creates inflammation. And that's kind of the whole buzzword of being inflamed. So again, I take it as more of a just balancing act, even though my diet's pretty good. We try to do salmon once a week. So at that point, I probably could take it or leave it, but I like it. There's a ton of cardiovascular research linked to omega-3s. So I had that in my diet.
That's cool.
Yeah. Then I think the other one is sometimes I actually forget it's even a supplement, but protein, whey protein is, but
Supplement.
you want to talk about something that's been around forever in the flavors, man, you can talk about coming from chalk to some of the best tasting stuff in the absolute world is protein. I take at least a scoop a day. Now that I've backed off total protein, I don't need it as much. But again, you want to talk Costco, I highly recommend Gold Standard whey protein. Super easy, affordable, but they also offer core powers. Have you seen those? 150 calories, 30 grams of protein, and they taste amazing. They have vanilla now at Costco. Run, don't walk.
Yep.
They're so good. So I'll do 2 shots of espresso over ice and then add that to make like a little protein latte.
Yum.
So good.
Sounds good. That is something I also dabble.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Dabble. It's not an everyday thing?
Pretty much every day, I would say. And that's, if I am taking creatine, that's when it's gonna go. It's gonna go into that shake as well. Because I think that when I was tracking food years ago at this point, that was something I realized, and I would say it's probably that way for most people, is if you need, I mean, really, no matter what weight you are, depending on how much you're eating and what kind of protein intake you're getting, most people are coming up a little short from a protein standpoint.
Most people are coming up really short.
Yeah.
Maybe it's probably the trend's probably changed because people are protein maxing these days.
Yes.
And protein's in everything.
Yes.
So it's probably come a long ways, but it still would be probably surprising to people.
Yeah. Which that would be my plug for just kind of even just taking a small inventory of what you are, even if you're not tracking daily and to the decimal point, having some semblance, it's like setting a budget, like having some semblance of what's coming in, what's going out, I think is worthwhile. And I think that's one of the bigger rocks that can make a big difference as far as performance, but also, I mean, injury risk, that sort of thing too.
And then for those that maybe are new to tracking or how much protein should I be getting, I think the general rule anymore is pretty much a gram per pound.
Especially if you're active.
Yeah. So
cool.
So protein, 1 scoop, or I'm throwing in oats, overnight oats, which is pretty good. I do not take that pre-run though. So try to keep protein, fiber low pre-run, just for those listening out there, just for GI. Yeah. So that's pretty much the day. Then nighttime stack is, this is where I've kind of been back and forth here. Again, with Whoop, you can track how much milligrams of things or grams you're taking of, and it's holding that information in my recovery. So I may play with this and actually remove it, but it would be magnesium. Magnesium glycinate. Probably the most easy on the GI, which is most magnesium can cause some GI, not distress, but you'd be sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
But the science behind that is muscle relaxation. I think momentous cells a malate, which is more energy focused. So that's something maybe you take in the morning. I haven't dabbled with that. Mine's more just been for sleep, relaxing the body with the glycinate. And then I also take Momentous has an L-threonate. A lot of new research coming out about L-threonate. Very limited, and that's I'm kind of back and forth. I think I've noticed a huge difference on it, but L-threonate crosses your brain barrier and relaxes your mind. Kind of helps you turn off your mind, which a lot of times if I struggle with sleep, it's because I'm stuck on something. So I take that stack right before bed, and I think it's helped, but I also want to kind of run the opposite since I have the data and maybe just remove both. And I think I probably get enough in my diet.
Do you feel like the sleep has been a change as far as
I
like?
do.
Okay.
I do.
Do you feel like you've become reliant on it to sleep better? Like, do you have days where you don't take it, or like if you're on vacation, or that
yeah?
sort of
So
thing?
no, I haven't noticed a difference. L-threonate I pretty much take all the time. The glycinate it actually comes in a powder form, and I sometimes when I travel, I just don't take it. The L-threonate's in pills.
Okay.
And I can travel with that. I haven't, but I do want to run because I do not want to become dependent on anything. And none of these supplements are.
Yeah.
There's no, you're not getting a high. Right?
Yeah.
So the addiction is low. So I don't know if I'm going to do it during marathon because, again, I don't want to change something. Maybe it is. And next thing I know, I'm not recovering.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to probably keep it, but then post marathon, I may pull that back.
Yeah.
And just see what the recovery looks like without it. Am I struggling to sleep?
Yeah. I always get worried about stuff around sleep time.
Yep.
As far as like becoming dependent on it.
Yeah, but this isn't. What's the?
Like melatonin.
Yeah, it's not melatonin.
Yeah.
This is just more relaxation, relaxing the muscles.
Yeah.
Allowing, hopefully, your body to maybe go into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight.
Yeah.
That you're able to relax. So that's kind of where I'm at from a full day. I do think we should touch on probably the biggest supplement. I briefly touched on it. Something I've been tracking now and that we kind of talk about in a lot of runners, especially in the heat in the summer months, and that is sodium and electrolytes. I have a take on it. I know that's something that you definitely supplement with, especially with races. What's that look like from a day-to-day standpoint as we sit here with 500?
Shout out Element.
500 milligrams.
So for me, like, I have experienced cramping in races. I don't think it's nutritional. I think it's more so. I think it's more muscle breakdown versus like a deficit of sodium. But from what I've seen, and I would shout out, it's called the Saturday app. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but it's a nutrition app geared towards endurance performance. So basically you plug in, here's what I'm doing, here's the intensity, you have some like baseline metrics and stuff like that you put in about yourself. And it spits out like how many grams of carbs, how many grams of sodium you need, and how much water, how much liquid you need. That I use when I was training for longer distance, so 70.3, even like marathon type stuff, with really good success, like fueling or under fueling for sure before I was utilizing that. And then once I realized, I was like, holy smokes. And I think the pendulum is shifting more towards higher carb, getting more sodium, that sort of thing. So for me, like on a day-to-day basis, I usually do have like a element once a day, and that's just based on my normal activity level. I'm working out usually every day. I'm a heavy sweater at heart. Like I lose a ton of liquid. I went on like a 6 or 7 mile easy run and lost like 7 pounds a couple weeks ago. So definitely a heavy sweater, especially in the summertime. Like I find myself sweating normally, just living life. Not to mention all the working out. So I feel like it's just helpful to get some of that stuff in regularly. Thursdays I will preload, so to speak, sodium. Like the night before I will have an element. The morning of I'm kind of sipping on that all the way through. And then usually have that like scratch hydration mix in my bottle on the track when we're out there. So typically in a race, like when I was doing longer distance tries and stuff like that, I was getting in 1,400 milligrams an hour from a sodium standpoint. And I would say I wasn't even replacing everything that I was using.
You can't.
Not
in a race.
But that seemed to work really well. Like, didn't have any cramps in that time. Seemed like I was moving well and feeling good. So yeah, I get it in again, kind of, I guess intuitively throughout the day. Like on a day where I'm sweating more, I'm like, okay, I need to get a little bit more in. So that's kind of how.
Yeah.
Where I'm at with it.
So I bring it up. I probably need to get a test. I feel like I'm just a normal sweater. Which a normal sweater, you're probably losing, I don't know, was it like 800 to 900 maybe milligrams an hour is normal.
Yeah, I think the low end is about 700-ish.
Yeah. And so there's some people that claim they lose like 2,000 milligrams an hour. So I get that. I struggle with normal people, and I think electrolytes have been, it seems like a lot of companies are pushing, or maybe it's just my algorithm. But so all these people, again, we were talking about, pulling all these other levers. So they're not, their nutrition's not right, their sleep's not right, but then they're drinking electrolytes. And if you track, and again, this is why I love tracking food, because if you actually see how much electrolytes you're getting in a day, you don't need to supplement sodium. When I'm on the road, I'll get 2 grilled chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A, thinking, oh, macros are amazing, right? It's like 2 buns, a piece of lettuce, and chicken breast. It's like 1,000 milligrams.
Yeah.
And for a normal person who's not working out, who's not sweating, who's sitting at a desk all day, that's just one meal, 1,000 milligrams. And the recommendation is like 2,500 in a day. You're definitely going to be getting over that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, no wonder we have hypertension issues, right? Because people are consuming so much sodium. If you have something that's packaged, you're going to be eating a lot of sodium. If you eat out 1 meal a day, that's a lot of sodium.
Yeah.
It's probably meeting your needs for the day.
Yeah.
And I think because people don't track it, they don't know. So then they say, well, you need more salt. It's like, do you though? Probably not.
Right.
Now that I'm talking about for normal people, and I'm just like, have my pitchfork out and trying to chase that. For me personally, now that I track, during marathon prep, I'm about 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams without supplementing it. That's just normal food.
Interesting. What are you getting that's that much?
I've been on this date sandwich kick.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Dude, so I get English muffins, cinnamon raisin English muffins, and I put dates inside of it. Dude, it's so good. And then I'll have a Core Power. Core Power is like 200 milligrams in it. The English muffins are 250 each. So
each side?
Each sandwich.
Each sandwich. Okay.
So I'm at like 750 milligrams just in that's a snack.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
It adds up.
Yeah.
And I'm doing 300 milligrams in the Gatorade Endurance. But yeah, things you wouldn't know. It's like, do you salt your lunch?
Not really. That's what I was gonna say. I don't really.
Okay.
I don't use a lot of salt like outside of like when I'm getting it in a can or so. I don't put a lot of salt on my food. If I'm making a steak or something like that, I'll put salt on it.
Yeah, and again, I think we're all different. I don't think most people eat like you. Then
I eat a lot of pretzels though, so that's
I guarantee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretzels have a ton. Pickles.
Yep. Love pickles.
Ton of sodium.
Yeah.
I think you'd probably be surprised on how much you actually consumed.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you possibly need it. Right?
Yeah.
Because we all, you're sweating, you're losing a ton, so you know this. And do you check your blood pressure?
No. I mean, the last time I got my blood pressure taken, it was like 115. It was like
you don't have a portable blood pressure machine at home and check it every morning?
No.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
So
No surprise.
I guess I've come to a point of like, well, do I need more electrolytes?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know? Right?
Probably not. I think it's
Not knocking Element, but
there goes our sponsorship. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like anything, but it's all the rage now. Electrolytes, protein is the other one where it's like these are the things that are being just like force fed to us from a industry standpoint. So yeah, I think it's important to ask that question to yourself and like, do I need this? For me, it's been I've seen a performance change because I've been taking it or because I'm prioritizing it.
yeah.
And that's how I treat anything. It's like if I see something that's, I guess it's reactive a little bit, something wrong, like I'm gonna go after, like try to fix that and go after it.
And I think this just brings us back to like you versus me. Like you're intuitive,
Yeah.
and that's how you're gonna live your life, and I'm data driven,
Right.
right? So it's like I want to see all that data. So now I'm tracking sodium.
Yeah.
I have all the data for every week of my average on sodium,
Yeah.
just to see where I'm at,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's any effect to it.
Yeah. And I think both can be effective.
100%. But I continue to challenge people. You don't have to track daily, but check in once in a while on your diet.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this is driven by diet.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've taken it a little bit further with lab work to make sure. But again, if you're trying to optimize,
Yeah. And I would say most of my decisions are based off of, at one point, having that data. But I don't want to do that every day.
Yeah.
Like, that's I feel like I have a general awareness of where things are and that sort of thing, but I'm not going to track it every day. Like, that's just not going to be a thing for me for the most part. Like, I love like running data and stuff like that. I nerd out on that a ton, but when it comes to especially food for some reason, and maybe this is something that is deeper seated, I don't want to track it.
Sure.
I want to just enjoy it and be able to indulge in certain things. But if I do see a performance change or benefit, like I'm going to add that into the mix and that sort of thing.
So to recap, just in supplements in general, again, we preface this is let's do the things the big pillars first, right? Let's get sleep, let's get the nutrition dialed in, whether that's intuitively, whether that's tracking or random tracking checks. Stress, again, is another big thing that let's try to control that, get the workouts in consistently. Then let's talk about some of the supplements. I still think, again, maybe you disagree, I still think protein powders, S tier.
Yep.
Creatine. And
Caffeine.
Would you agree? It's probably the top three.
Yeah, I mean those are the three that I will partake in, as well as sodium, but
And electrolytes.
yeah, those are the ones that I've seen be directly beneficial or not. Which again, that's kind of how I base those decisions. Is like, do I see a change or do I see a benefit? So yeah, I would put those up there. Otherwise, like, I think the research and impact is kind of all over the board from what I've seen anyways.
Yeah, and I think we have a future episode on like other performance enhancing drugs. Peptides are obviously all the rage. That's a whole nother conversation that we can get into, but I think we touched everything on supplements.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, well, next week we are going to do all things Pat, Dr. Pat, race results, kind of some of your performance history, what's next on the docket for you.
Yeah.
Surprise, running.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. You like, subscribe, share this.
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. And again, if you want to utilize Momentous. Again, Tyler Smith at checkout will give you a discount code. I get a little kickback, and same thing on Whoop. I know I've been pushing that. You can get a free month on me in my Instagram, tsmith_training.
All right. See you next week.